There's been another outbreak of credit card fraud in the region, prompting claims that chip and pin is not as safe as it was meant to be.
The latest victims come from the market town of Diss in Norfolk. They had all used the local Shell petrol station. Many rang or emailed us here at BBC Look East to say cash had been taken out of their accounts from as far away as Thailand and Canada.
Stonemason Jeremy Bendel had a shock when he checked his bank account at the weekend. He'd been cleaned out. £1,045 had disappeared in several withdrawals in Canada.
I was completely shocked, and I really didn't believe that that sort of thing could happen to me, and it did happen to me. And from now on, I will be using cash as possible where I can, and not use my chip and pin.
His bank statement shows he'd used the Shell station in Diss. He soon realised it was going on all over town. Colleagues and friends were discovering the same thing. Today the petrol station appeared to be doing good business despite the problems. Norfolk police have confirmed that they're investigating after 16 victims of cloning contacted them. Somehow their card details have been copied, stolen and sent abroad.
No one from Shell was available to be interviewed, but the company is investigating what happened. This morning a regional manager was here in Diss. Staff are not directly employed by Shell but by the franchise owner. It's not known if any kind of disciplinary action has been taken.
Even while we were filming, passers-by stopped to tell us they'd fallen victim to the cloning.
I came in on Thursday morning at 5 to 9, filled up with petrol, used my card. Then within a couple of hours they tried to get money in Malaysia and Canada.
I went to make a payment this morning, just about 5 minutes ago, to Next Directory. And I discovered that my card was declined, and that's because money has been taken out of my account in India in rupees.
We became aware of the problem when your calls and emails came in. Matthew Bovitt and his wife Julie say they lost £700 between them. Ruth Ingram from Diss and Peter Walker both called to say someone had tried to take money from their cards in India. One woman told me today her son is on holiday in Scotland and he's had his cards cancelled halfway through the holiday.
Diss is a quiet market town, population 7,500. But anecdotally, this is a fraud that could have affected hundreds of people who lived there. Ian Barmer, BBC Look East, Diss.
Well, Eddie Wetherell is an independent banking expert. He's in Cambridge now. Is this getting worse?
It's getting worse all the time, yes, unfortunately.
Chip and pin was supposed to be the answer to all our problems. Make everything safer, does it?
Well, chip and pin has been sold as being very, very secure. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Chip might be secure. The magnet stripe on the cards is certainly not secure and could be copied quite easily.
Actually, I've used that particular filling station quite recently, and I know lots of people will have done. What can you do if you discover that the money is missing from your account?
Well, firstly, you've obviously got to make a complaint to the card company. But in the proportions that we're seeing these particular accounts, I mean, obviously a complaint must be made to the police as well, because these are definitely criminal offences.
Do the police do enough to stop it?
I'm afraid from what we've seen, the police have done very little to stop any of this, and it all relies on the banking industry to actually propel the frauds into the police's hands.
So you go into a garage or into a shop or something, you've got your credit card, it's chip and pin, they ask you for your number. What can you do to reduce the likelihood of actually getting caught?
Well, obviously, not using a chip and pin card reduces it to zero. Unless some of your people that have interviewed have said use cash, but that's not possible for everybody. You really do need to make sure that when you're putting in your PIN, you make sure that nobody else can see it. But some of these sniffers, you know, it makes no difference because they're between the terminal and the card itself. So they're going to pick up all the information.
Tell me what a sniffer is.
Well, a sniffer is an instrument that's inserted between the actual card reading machine and the PIN machine.
And it gets the details off that?
Yeah, and it takes all the details, which are then transmitted to somewhere like Thailand, Asia, America, where they can then use all of that to extort cash from your card.
Mr. Wetherell, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.